Hey guys, First Regardsman here, and today I'll be going over a bulk carbine melee sniper build for both operations and siege mode in patch 8.0 Space Marine 2. Now, the bulk carbine is one of my favorite weapons on the sniper class, mainly because we get the full benefit of this weapon without the perk targeted shot, unlike a lot of the sniper rifles that need this perk to hit breakpoints, and that way we can take tactical ambush, which is the first melee attack that breaks camo cloak, deals 150% more damage. This is actually the best boss damage on the sniper class currently, especially when combined with the block combat knife and adrenaline charges with the shadow stab ability, and overall the buff to HP on the absolute bosses in patch 8.0 is like 66%, so this comes in handy quite a bit. As far as my chosen variant of the bolt carbine goes, I have taken magazine capacity, mainly because you don't really need accuracy on the bolt carbine with the perk Hone Precision, which is equipped weapons maximum spread decreases by 50% when firing without aiming. This pretty much turns our hip fire into a laser beam. The only downside is the controller setup for Space Marine 2 does not let you hip fire while there is a gun strike active, so sometimes you are forced to aim down your sights, but overall, more ammo reserves and more magazine capacity is far more beneficial even with that in mind, and really Hone Precision is super underrated, to be honest. And we also take rapid health here, which is when your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores health by 10%. Killing 7 enemies in rapid succession, especially on my Norse, is very easy with a bolt carbine, and this is some of the only actual health regen in the game outside of things like Bulwark and Vanguard. I believe this is also active on the heavy bolt pistol here with rapid health, so really we have two options on our build here to get our HP back. And the rest of the perk tree is pretty much just damage. I go into Divine Might with Headhunter, into Extended Magazine for an even greater magazine capacity, into more damage, into more ammo reserves, into Magazine Restoration. It's pretty much the same perk, but they call this stuff differently all the time. But when your health drops below 30%, your ammo reserve is restored by a full magazine, cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. Cooldown is 30 seconds. Because of the way the sniper perk has so much survivability with purification, there are so many times in this game where you'll get 90% of your HP taken down, you hit one button, you get all your HP back, but this will also proc and give you magazine capacity back on top of your versatile precision perk, which will give you even more ammunition. So really, you pretty much have infinite ammo on the bolt carbine, which is pretty awesome. And then I build into Adamantine Grip. Recoil is reduced by 25%. This doesn't help us too much, but we have to take this to get into Divine Might, which is a flat-out 10% damage increase. Alternatively, you could just go forego these 4 perks here and go up to Cleaving Fire, into Adamant Hunter, into Perpetual Precision, into Gunstrike Reload, because Gunstrike reloading on the bolt carbine is quite good. It's the easiest way to get your magazine back to full, but overall, with Dexterous Hands here, we already get a 20% faster reload, and you can also animation cancel on the moment your magazine is filled by swapping weapons, and the reload on the bolt carbine is pretty good anyways. Now, as far as our secondary goes, I take the heavy bolt pistol here just because it's overall the best. If you want to take Inferno pistol, you can. I've actually kind of grown to like the Inferno pistol a bit on the sniper class, but I've just decided to take heavy bolt pistol because it is the best overall weapon in this game currently for a secondary, outside the plasma pistol for AoE gun strikes. And really, this is the only thing I take here for the actual perk tree. I also go down here for the Great Might. Damage increases by 10% against Terminus level enemies because, again, Terminus level enemies now have a lot of HP on absolute difficulty, and 10% is quite easy to get a little bonus on for the heavy bolt pistol, and especially versus things like Neurothropes, the bolt carbine is not incredible versus them, and when they aren't landed for our block knife, this is an easy little bonus damage we can do up for the headshot multiplier here. If you want to take the magazine capacity or the increased capacity perk instead, you can, but either way, I would still go down the top tree because this is pretty much pure damage. Next weapon I take is the Block Combat Knife. Block Combat Knife is just the best on Sniper. It does a tremendous amount of damage. It has a very high speed. The Adrenaline Rush charges combined with the Shadow Stab perk give us a ton of boss damage, especially with our perk setup with Tactical Ambush. And whatever downsides there are to the block weapons in this game, the Sniper kind of circumvents them with Purification, because usually the main benefit of a parry weapon or something like the fencing or balance knives would be that you can actually parry off Minoris for armor on top of getting gun strikes to get your contested HP back easily, but we already have a very easy time getting contested HP back with purification, so I don't really see that as necessary whatsoever. And the bonus damage of the knife here is very noticeable, though there is a bug currently with block weapons that does not let the 50% damage bonus from perfect parrying trigger on the perfect block, and that kind of sucks, but still, block knife is more damage overall, especially than the fencing knife here, which I think is kind of overrated, to be honest. Now for the perk tree, I just go down here. In the actual gameplay video, I did not take Shoulder Bash on accident, but I would suggest taking this mainly because the Shoulder Bash is far better than like the Distance Stab, and it's also easier to not get locked down. And that's kind of an issue with the Distance Stab, is that you kind of get stuck in like this really, really long animation versus the Shoulder Bash that is almost like instantaneous. Besides this, I just go down for Perpetual Strength, Kinetic Energy, which is just more heavy attack damage, and heavy attacks are the best on the block knife anyways, especially with our Skull Crusher. And then we go into more damage, and then we go into Reeling Blow, which is just kind of a mandatory perk to go up here for Tide of Battle for our Power Wave, which is pretty good for the Whirlwind Slash as well. And Shadow Stab is the most important perk here overall, because this is your main boss damage. This is your main Extremis killer. The charge up time with Tactical Ambush and all your other melee perks is kind of broken at times for how much damage you can do in a single melee hit. Some of the highest burst damage in the game, to be honest, especially in melee, and it's just an amazing ability. If you want to go up here for Terminus Slayer instead of Extremis Slayer, you certainly can, especially with the increased HP on bosses. I decided to take Terminus Slayer, Extremis Slayer this time, but Terminus Slayer is also very good. Now, as far as our perk selection goes, I take Melee Mastery. Melee damage increases by 20% against Majora's level and higher enemies. This perk is really, really good. 20% is a huge increase to melee damage, and really Melee is the name of the game on the Sniper class, despite him being a Sniper class in a lot of cases, and that's why we also take Adaptability down here, which is reloading while having low ammo, or manually activating Camo Cloak increases melee damage by 25% for 10 seconds. More melee damage. These all stack together to give us tremendous bursts, especially on top of the Tactical Ambush perk. Again, we take Dexterous Hands because this is the only perk in this tree that affects bulk carbines at all. It's kind of a no-brainer. And the next perk here is also a no-brainer. Squad Renewal. A headshot kill restores ability charge by 10% for any squad member. It's kind of unfortunate that this perk is pretty much mandatory to make any purification build function at max capacity, because these other two perks with precision targeting and marksmanship, they just suck. And like, that's really the best way to put it. They need a massive buff, because nothing like this is ever going to come close to getting your Camo Cloak back on a class that is pretty much built all around managing your cloak. And really, that's how you kind of have to play the Sniper class, is just managing your cloak properly with Purification, which is manually activating Camo Cloak, removes negative status effects, and restores all contested health. This perk is like an S tier perk in this game, and this combined with Emperor's Grace, when Camo Cloak activates, you become invulnerable to damage for 2 seconds, is incredible. Is one of the best combos in this whole game. It kind of just replaces Lingering Concealment, because you don't really need the 2-second Camo Cloak remaining, because Emperor's Grace, the invulnerability from this counts as like, you pretty much don't exist in the game. You will not take knockback from anything for 2 seconds, and it pretty much guarantees that you get all your contested HP back and don't die in like a super horrifying like Hellbrute wave or something. So super busted perk combo, but pretty epic. Then again, we take tactical Ambush here for all the reasons I mentioned previously. And then I take Persistence, which is when Camo Cloak deactivates, you take 20% less health damage, do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and cannot be knocked back for 10 seconds. This perk is incredible. 20% less health damage in conjunction with our Conviction Prestige perk here for 25% less health damage on armor depletion means that in the later waves of Siege mode, where the enemies do absolutely insane damage, you will not get one shot as often. And like when I say they do insane damage on like wave 20 plus of Siege mode, I'm telling you, it is like near instantaneous death at times, even with like an encompassing Aegis heavy on your team. And that's why we take these anti-burst killing perks like these. These are really, really valuable perks. And no knockback on this perk is like some of the only no knockback in this entire class besides like Indomitable Spirit. And as far as Lingering Concealment goes, this perk is kind of overrated now because it's pretty much replaced by Emperor's Grace and the Purification perk, and Persistence does a lot more for you, and this perk here just sucks. And then signature perk, again, Pattern of Excellence, performing 3 consecutive headshots, restores equipment charged by 1. Cooldown is 30 seconds. This is just the best signature perk by far. 30-second Melt of Bombs is like the best equipment regen in the entire game. The only thing that even comes close to this anymore is now the Tactical's new Secure Stockpile perk. This one, combined with Pattern of Excellence, is an absurd amount of Melt of Bombs for your team. So you have a Tactical on your team, which really you should in Siege mode most of the time. You're pretty much going to be flying high on the Melt of Bombs. So Pattern of Excellence, pretty much always take this. These other two don't even come close. And as far as our Prestige perks go, we just take Emperor's Grace for all the reasons previously mentioned, on top of Versatile Precision, which is performing a kill with your secondary weapon restores 15% of your primary weapon's ammo. Cooldown is 15 seconds. This is just really amazing ammo recovery on a class that doesn't have a ton on its own outside of things like Adamant Restoration or like Magazine Restoration on this class is what it's called. So I pretty much always take this perk, especially on snipers, it's even better. Really excellent perk, S tier. Always take this. Next perk I always take is Indomitable Spirit. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control upon taking heavy hits, and you cannot be knocked back. This is some of the only knockback resist this whole class can get outside of things like Persistence and the no knockback effect of the 2 seconds of invulnerability. And this is also one of the only perks that lets you shoot a Biovore in the face while it is face checking you with a gun strike. Really excellent for that purpose, and overall, it's just super good at keeping you alive at times and getting your gun strikes off or you otherwise get stun locked. And stun locks are pretty much the major thing that will kill you in this game, which is why no knockback is super valuable in the first place. Next perk we take here is one of the best perks in the game, which is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you take 25% less health damage for 15 seconds. 15 seconds is like an eternity in this game, so this is up for a super long time. It's actually the longest version of the Conviction perks like activation period of any class. All the other ones are 10 seconds, and 25% less health damage when your armor is broken and you need to take less health damage than most is godlike, and this will prevent you from getting outright one shot in a lot of scenarios. So that's why we always take this perk. These other perks here, like Exacting Focus, Versatility, Material Upgrade, they are not horrific. They are just not as good as these four, in my opinion. And that's pretty much all there is for this build as far as perks and weapons go. Now it's time to get into the actual gameplay, so I'll see you there in a second. Over here. Now, as long as you're in true solo, the Raveners will stand still. Pretty much everything will while you're yourself, but Lictors will just vanish. It's kind of unfortunate.
It dug its own grave.
Alright, let's move on up here.
They shall not. Active camouflage charge. Inserting fresh magazine.
Okay, this guy, what's been a Guardian Relic? It's totally fine. Especially the new boss spawns they have. Some of them can be pretty hard, because now in absolute difficulty, the bosses do have like a 66% HP buff that's carried over from the live game from the DPS, and they can be quite difficult. It also does feel like the spawns have been fixed for true solo, where they were previously, because this is supposed to be a challenge mode by turning off bots, what they said in the patch notes.
Stealth ready. Frag grenade out. Reloading. Four lines. Shoot them. Fester and rot. Seagulls abomination. Reloading. Active camouflage charge.
Wait, where this bramble guy? The beauty of the bolt carbine is just that it gives you such a consistent contested health recovery that it's very hard to die as long as you have ammunition in your magazine.
Rearming. They shall not. Camelio line close ready. Synaptic servant slaughtered.
I kind of want to rush to the end here, but I'm gonna be stuck fighting a
Picking up equipment.
ton of boss spawns
Precisely
otherwise.
what we
Well,
need.
regardless, really. Not much we can do about that. I just hate that this game seems to give you neurothropes constantly now. And neurothropes suck. They simply suck to fight. Alright, so
We
the
live.
guaranteed stim.
Seen us die. Perfect balance. I have eyes on the fireball. Melter bomb rapidly.
Step him.
Gun boost is no more.
Operations really are so much easier than the siege mode. Especially now you have enraged enemies in siege mode. The only thing that's harder are the boss spawns. That's about it. Like triple Ravener, it's just the norm on like wave 10 plus in the siege mode.
The reclamation center entrance is just ahead, Captain.
The hive ships are
Alright,
moving
the Guardian
into
Relic,
range of
perfect.
utility towers. We are in Kadaku's final hours.
I'll take that.
Rearming. Only one way in. A choke point. We should not linger.
Find a bomb over here. Actually, there's nobody. We'll just pew pew them.
Unseen, I stalk my target.
I'm just gonna do a double hit. Since I goofed there and took some extra damage for no reason, I will take that. We already have a melta bomb, so whatever grenades we get here I don't really care about. Crack. Eh.
Objective on the other side. The machinery here lies dormant.
Initiate ransom reawakening at all consoles to terminate hibernation.
Alright, Earth Rope. Let's see. Alright, they're gonna cut this. Now, they didn't make it easier to dodge these little AoEs. They don't trap you as often, but they will still
Active camouflage.
trap you on occasion.
You're a pro spotted. Do not let it get inside your head.
Oh, he turned on me.
Readying next
Alright, he's about to do his little shout.
virulent. We cannot enter the fortress until the entire system is activated. Line cloak ready.
I'll see that, because I'm gonna get one back in like 30 seconds anyways. Surely that won't hit me through a wall, right? This game would never do something like that. There's so many dudes over here.
Stealth ready. Amelio line cloak activated.
We'll just pop him.
fortress until the entire system is activated.
Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, I'm sure that'll all work out just fine for us. Alright, can we get a one shot in here? Potentially. Wow, he teleported right on me. What a champion, dude. This guy just... Champion of the hive mind over here. You know, lifters are supposed to be like master trackers. That makes sense. I kind of waste both my sims over there, though, so... In that stupid corner, that was a bad position for me to put myself in. Whatever. How did I kill you?
You cannot enter the fortress until the entire system is activated.
Dude, this Ravener is making a decision. I'm about to...
Active camouflage charge.
I wish I could kill him instead.
We cannot enter the fortress until the entire system is activated.
Next box we open with this much HP remaining. It's like a guaranteed sim. I think we'd have to like actually be completely out of ammo to not get a sim out of the next box. Or you can die now. You. A little bit of a spicy start to this little location, but it's one boss down. The boss spawns are definitely hard now.
Vessel detected. Sharing the divine blessings of the machine god.
That lictor did kind of just hunt me down. That was quite funny.
Attention, ministers.
Alright, let's go over here.
With console hub.
Oh, thank God, it's a convenient one.
Detected. Prior to resumption.
We must search for where this invasive material has made its home. And I would say we have found our invasive material. If we are to fix this, we must destroy the spores that spawned these
Transmission
vines.
of blessing has commenced. Console has been reawakened.
Alright. To the last one over here. Oh, two back to back? That's neat.
A Xenos stealth beast tried to ambush us. Seen I struck my target. Tyranids have no right to attack us. Ready engagement.
I'm over here.
Enter the fortress until the entire system.
Alright, on the bright side, we are at such low HP currently that,
Familiar line cloak ready.
I'm gonna do this.
Delta bomb prime. Their numbers are no match for our trade. We cannot enter the fortress until the entire system is activated.
We're at such low HP that we can't possibly lose HP without dying. Or I should say that, there's no contested HP to lose, because this is like the minimum amount of HP we can have on this class. On any class, really. Alright.
They shall not see. Arming filter charge. Reloading. We cannot enter the fortress until the entire system is activated.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, when I heard that coming out, we're about to get monked. I'm just gonna move all the way over here.
Blessings extended to his slumbering unit. Awakening has begun.
I mean, that's what we get for wasting our stim earlier. What I really should have done is like move over here and like check for a box or something. But that's okay.
Complete. Ministerial authority accepted. Radio Messiah. System restoration.
So many termagants.
Primary control reset.
The consoles are active. Open the door. Stealth ready. Readying next volley.
I'll have this land for me. Thank you. That's both bosses. We'd have to waste the Guardian rolling, but that's okay. That's what I get for like messing up in that room back there and using 2 stims. I got myself caught in a corner, which is quite silly.
Repel, brothers.
We're back at full, so
Changing magazine.
it all works out in the end. Let's go check for. Oh, I see this box. If I searched this earlier, could have been a stim for sure.
Captain Akaran, we are entering the fortress.
Good. Head up to the cannons and remind the Xenos of whom they dare to attack.
Back-to-back bosses is pretty cool. I am a fan. I like that that can actually happen. Because previously, you would never see something like that in this game. I have had it happen to me before with Hellbrutes as well, but double Neurothrope, that does kind of suck. Let's have this ammo.
Readying next volley.
Let's check here.
Take all you can carry.
Should be pretty easy from here on out. I'm very curious to see if the spawns are actually functioning at the end here.
Inserting pressure. Emilio line engaged. Fester and Rock. Emilio line cloak ready.
Right.
There is one sniffing around. Eliminate Xenos lines. Hostile pack on the way. Apply additional pressure.
Alright, can I see my...
I am a phantom of death. Synaptic servant slaughtered.
Oh, what happened to my,
My
my charge? It vanished.
inserting
Unfortunate.
fresh magazine.
Go waste some stim.
Stealth ready.
Actually, I got the 3 headshots because I was just not hitting with the fire here.
Emilio line cloak active.
There we go.
Free army.
That's unfortunate. So close.
Active camouflage.
Lictors are by far the hardest by far the farthest.
The lictor
Yes.
stood
No,
chance.
by far the hardest extremist to fight when you're solo or true solo sniper, because you can't just shadow stab them. You can't everything else.
I am a phantom of death.
Boom, boom, this guy.
Tyranny is happening. This lift is our way to the cannons. Changing magazine. Objective on the other side.
The Tyranids seem to know you're close. They are amassing at the fortress.
They will come at us
So many
from
turbo
all
guns.
sides, and we will meet them.
Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm very curious. This is it. This is the moment of truth. Let's see whether or not they fix this.
Munitions here.
If they didn't, I'm gonna make a video about it or something. Like, what is the point of a PTS server if they don't fix like the most basic bug in the game, which is like a broken
Mindful of
spawn?
not just its size, but its weapons.
For like one of the only missions in this game too. Aren't that many? So if you have one of them broken, that's pretty bad.
Changing magazine.
You are near the last cannons. You will need to find the manual controls
All right.
to operate them.
I see
Looks like it
your
functions now. Because before there were no enemies even spawning around here.
Launch that foe before it calls for reinforcement. Reloading. The weapon console. We must use it. Las cannons will not fire without the servo skull's targeting system.
Defensive cannons active. Targeting system non-functional. Initializing secondary system.
We'll see if a horde spawns
We
though.
have landed a powerful blow.
Targeting system online.
We have incoming.
As you may, the server skull will be deployed to the system.
Alright, and actually, it looks like it actually spawns enemies now. That's good.
Back up on the way. Meteor line engaged. The stench of Xenos thickens the air.
There we go.
Landed a powerful blow.
Defense cannon deployed. Engage auxiliary generators to resume fire.
There's a guardian log spot right here, in case nobody knows that. But, not right now.
Titan fires at us.
Okay. Whack on you. You should be low. You just gotta heal off that, enraged shit. So,
Inserting fresh magazine.
that does kind of suck for us.
Generators and restore the cannons.
Let's kill this guy. Shoot you in the face. Go up there. I honestly hate this final portion. It is not very solo friendly at all. Probably the least solo friendly mission in the game. Outside like maybe Obelisk.
Changing magazine.
Obelisk is easier than this. Or I should say less irritating.
We must use the generators and recharge the cannons. We have incoming.
Surely that won't hit me.
Activation complete. Ready to fire.
I'll have to do this. The Emperor's Grace there. I just want to get this rolling as fast as possible. Before more guys come.
Has been established. All specs connected.
The Titan fires at us. It cannot shrug off our keep light between you and the Xenos weapon.
We'll get the second shot off and cloak for the third one so then it comes at us. Or we can save it, depending.
We have landed a powerful blow.
So it's gonna be one of these two here. There we go. I'll take that. I'll be thumbing right on top, of course.
They shall not. Stealth ready. Generator ready. Cannons loaded.
See, I just want it done, to be honest. Look at like the one horde there at the end. Maybe the spawns are still a little broken in this one. I don't think so, though. I think it's honestly just that the PTS was shattered.
Communion successful. Cannon targeting link enabled.
Try to shoot him.
The Titan fires at us. Avoidance contamination.
Alright, that's that. That is the Bolt Carbine build. A classic melee setup for the sniper. Probably the best one for him overall. Besides Stalker Bolt Rifle.
Take the shot on those
Mainly
damn
because
towers
missing
and
out
unleash the
on
fine
melee
retribution.
damage at a cloak is pretty bad. Like, tactical ambush is far better than targeted shot. Just because it's easier to pull off a melee hit. And Shadow Stab is your best boss damage on him. As you can see against things like the Neurothrope and Carnifex, stuff like that. So if you have a gun or like a primary weapon that doesn't have to benefit from targeted shot to work at max function, usually he's better off. And the Guardian Protocol port in that tree sucks. So there's that. How much was that? 14 Extremis, 400, about like 40,000 damage. That's pretty normal. At least for solos in this game. Anyways, that is all for that run.